A young man once asked a monk, "Why is my mind always racing? I can't sleep. I can't sit still. I think about things that haven't happened. I fear things that may never come." The monk looked at him and said, "Come with me." They walked in silence until they reached a river. The water was clear, but the surface rippled from the wind. "Try to see your reflection," the monk said. The young man leaned over. "I can't," he replied. "The water keeps moving." "Exactly," said the monk. "Your mind is like this. You're trying to understand yourself through thoughts that never stop moving." The young man frowned. "So, what should I do?" The monk sat down and whispered, "Be still. Let the water settle." They sat by the river. The wind softened, the ripples slowed. Slowly, the young man saw his reflection take shape. "This," the monk said, "is presence. Not a place you go, a place you return to." The young man nodded, but his brow was still tense. "But my mind always runs away. It reminds me of the past. It pulls me into the future. I can't control it." The monk picked up a small leaf and placed it in the water. They watched it float gently with the current. "You don't need to control your mind," he said. "You just need to stop chasing it. Thoughts come and go, like leaves in the stream. But you are the river beneath them." The young man stared at the water, quieter now, not just around him, but inside. The monk stood and gestured toward the trees. "Look at them, they're not thinking, not planning, not regretting, and yet they grow, they sway, they live." The young man asked, "But I'm not a tree. I have responsibilities, a job, people, pressure." The monk smiled. "And that's exactly why you need stillness even more. Life pulls, but you choose how tightly you hold the rope." They walked slowly back toward the path. "The present moment is the only thing that's ever real," the monk continued, "but most people miss it. They live in yesterday's memory or tomorrow's fear. Their feet are here, but their mind is gone." The young man took a deep breath, longer than usual. He didn't say it, but he could feel it. The space between thoughts. A glimpse of now. If this message brought you peace, subscribe and tap the bell. Your journey into the present starts with just one quiet reminder. They came to a quiet clearing where the wind barely moved and the air felt still. The monk sat on a stone and closed his eyes. The young man joined him. "Don't try to empty your mind," the monk said softly. "That's not presence. Just notice. The breath going in, the breath going out, the sound of birds, the feeling of your body resting on the earth." At first, the young man's mind wandered, remembering deadlines, conversations, mistakes. But the monk's voice anchored him. "Each time your mind drifts, gently bring it back. Not with force, but with kindness. That's the practice." Time passed without clocks. The noise inside began to soften, not by suppression, but by attention. For the first time in a long time, the young man wasn't chasing time. He was in it. The monk opened his eyes. "What did you notice?" he asked. The young man took a moment. "At first, everything. Then, nothing. Then, peace." The monk nodded. "That's the truth of now. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply waits for you to arrive." They walked again. The sky had changed color, but the monk seemed unchanged, like time moved around him, not through him. "You don't need more time," he said. "You need less noise inside it." The young man smiled quietly. The thoughts were still there, but they had lost their weight, like clouds drifting without a storm. For once, he didn't feel behind or ahead, just here. Days passed, but something in the young man didn't return with him. Or perhaps something stayed behind. The restlessness, the urgency, the need to always do. He still had responsibilities, deadlines, conversations. But now he carried space between each of them. Like pauses in a song that make the notes more beautiful. When people asked what changed, he didn't know how to answer. How do you describe silence? But inside he knew he no longer lived in the storm of his thoughts. He had found the eye, calm, still, aware. And every time his mind wandered into worry or regret, he would return, not by force, not by fight, but by breath, by presence, by now.